Welcome back to The Charismatic Voice. I think it's important to understand how a band defines itself. So when a band titles a song the same name as the band and puts it on an album that's also the same name, that song is probably pretty central to the band's identity. So I'm going to take a first-time listen now to Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath on the Black Sabbath album. Let's get to it. Ooh. Well, this sets a scene. Nice. I have to say, I felt like I was in a monsoon in Arizona for a moment, but the rain and the thunder, I like how clear that was. That was very nice. And with the ominous church bells and everything as well. This really does have an entire atmosphere going on. And I love the way that they brought the music in with the church bell. It's even in a great key to match. Nice. Whoa. This is so drawn out and so dark and moody. It feels like doom is on its way over. I need to figure out what these pitches are because they are so dissonant. That is bold. Back here. That's it. That's funny. So this is hanging out on an octave at first, and then it falls down onto augmented fourth, diminished fifth. It's the same thing in the key. It's a very, very dissonant interval, just about as dissonant as you can get. It's called the devil's interval sometimes, which I think with the album cover, I bet that was very, very intentional. Super broody. Whoa. Side note, if you guys hear rain in the background right now, that is the rain in Arizona. It's not just the album. Okay, go back a little bit and then we'll keep going. Oh man, they're even doing a trill on that to make it like, that is very intense. And yes, by the way, I do have a keyboard right underneath my desk. I love the keyboard pull-out desk, like actual full 88 keys down there. I'll put a picture of it sometime on Instagram, y'all. Okay, but having a trill on that interval too makes it even more dissonant. They basically said, what is the most dissonant sound that we could possibly have, and then put it down there. Ooh, that's a fun timbre shift.
What is this that stands before me? Figure in black, which points at me.
This is this is like so broody. And once we got into this section where it changed into like a slightly more mellow open timbre in the instruments, when Ozzy's voice came in, it, it just again revisited us with this grating edge. Uh, I find his voice so fascinating. Hey, just blows my mind fascinating. He has a timbre and a specificity, and he never changes what his voice is to. He just leaves it exactly like that. And it is extremely useful, I think, in particular circumstances. It can make people's hair stand up, essentially. I think War Pigs actually was an extremely successful song. It's fascinating to me that Ozzy is an earlier singer, right, for Black Sabbath, and then we have Dio, who I just totally fell in love with. They are so wildly different as singers. I'm going to talk some more about his creation of tone, what he's doing vocally to make that happen, sort of how his voice naturally sits as well. But I'm going to come back there. For a simple song, so far, this is really, really well crafted. Ooh, let's go back a little more.
What is this that stands before me? Figure in black, which points at me.
I love this kind of moody, slightly tribal drum. It's sparse percussion. It's deeper percussion overall. It's such a mood. Uh, Ozzy has point in his sound. If you want to talk about a sound that has like the most point of any example I could give, that is Ozzy. It's right, it goes like this the entire time. It's like witchy but more pointed. He actually has some space in the back, and that's why it gets that nice, there is a nice resonance behind it, and then it all funnels through this point. There is so much nasality in his sound. It's very impressive. It's a kind of sound that can cut through anything. But the fact that there is nothing to cut through at this point is part of what makes it so grating.
Turn around quick and start to run.
Oh, I love that moment. Okay, so I'm just going to talk about pitches here for a bit, okay? I've got my keyboard out. So we're hanging out on G's is where we're... That's what he does at one point. We keep coming back to this idea of an octave, a G to a G, and then it like finds its way down to this pitch, which, and the way he approached it, Ozzy, this time that would be a diminished fifth because he approached it from above and went down. But it's a tritone. Same pitch, really, no matter how you're calling it. And this is fascinating to me because of the way it's set essentially within a minor scale. It keeps ending on this tritone and lingering there on that devil's pitch. And one of the reasons that is so cringe-worthy is because it doesn't fit into our overtones, essentially. Anytime you hear a pitch like this pitch, you're not just hearing the pitch that I played on the piano. You're hearing a whole set of pitches above it as well. And you can see this in any sort of frequency analysis. I've done this on the channel before when we talk about overtone singing. It's essentially highlighting those upper pitches that are also created when you create a fundamental, meaning the lowest pitch, down on the bottom. And that pitch in this case that they've sort of set up, it's going to be a G, right? So when we're talking about an overtone series, we go 1 octave is the first overtone. Then you have a 5th and then another octave. And then you get like a normal triad, a major triad, mind you, major triad. And we're hanging out in a minor key. So it already gets like spooky vibes because that doesn't fit within our first set of overtones here, right? That's why when we have a major triad, it sounds so pretty, right? We have a major 3rd, and we have a perfect 5th, and we have our octaves in there. Octaves sound great together. They have what we call a lot of consonants, right? And then in there, we'll start to get like 5ths, we'll get some 7ths, and then we'll start to go up and have a full scale. But nowhere like in the first 15 overtones that are involved in just that single pitch, the overtones or the harmonics above, there's not a tritone in there. It doesn't exist. It is just so dissonant to our ears because it is not contained in that first pitch that we've set up as our root pitch. So the fact that they keep coming back to it and lingering on it over and over is so cool. Okay, I know that was a really long aside, y'all, but this is so central to why this is grating on us every time and making us feel the heebie-jeebies. There it is. That note does not exist in the overtone series that they've set up.
Turn around quick and start to run.
There's the line.
Find out I'm the chosen one.
And right there at the end, he slid down and then hung on it. Whoa. They're so dramatic. It was like practically operatic. I feel like this is Don Giovanni at the end when he's taken down to hell. Anyhow.
The chosen one. Oh no!
And the extra reverb on it too. Oh my gosh, is this the first track on the album? Because if it is, and like what a freaking way to enter. Like, basically saying we are going down to hell for this album. Wow.
Oh no!
The verb there is awesome. Ooh, lawnmower. Again, trilling on a tritone. Like, holy crap. They said, what can we do to give people a cringe? And then did it over and over, and made it even more intense with a trill over and over.
Black shape with eyes of fire.
Ooh, really cool, quick release of fire that made it feel like something got burnt out really quick. That was a fun expression. Ozzy is never not expressive. I know that he's very polarizing when it comes to if people like his voice or not. I mean, it's not the kind of voice I want to sing me to sleep, but I feel very impressed by how he uses it. I think that, again, it has a very specific set of great usage, and he's very expressive. It evokes a lot of emotion. Like the shake.
eyes of fire.
Like even in there, the two different times he uses vibrato to evoke fear or trembling. I think on shape and fire, he does a little more there too.
Big black shape with eyes of fire.
So nasal, man. So nasal.
Telling people their desire.
Man, it's like that's more nasal than I can get with cold leftovers right now. Like, wow. If you go nasal and then you try and go further, you might be getting somewhat close to Ozzy, but you still probably won't be there. It is so nasal. It is so pointed. It's got a lot of power too behind it. So it sounds like it's still coming from a great place of support.
People their desire.
And he's got a lot of resonance.
Satan sitting there, he's smiling.
Wow.
Watches the
Ew.
flames get higher and higher.
This is chilling.
Oh no, no, please God help me.
And now with the trill on it. I like that boom. I always think of that as a lawnmower. I want to just make one quick insert here. I was very deliberate in deciding to do the album version of this. Yes, there are live performances. I know there's even one that's like of fairly recently, I think, I want to say 2017 live performance. And I like live performances. I really like getting to see how singers are making those sounds in a live performance. But because of the specific goal of this, of understanding where this band has come from, I wanted to come back to roots, to this Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath. And maybe someday, we'll review all kinds of similar things. If you can give me a try name like that, it's going to be high on my list of possible reviews. All right, let's keep going. Somewhere different.
As in the end, my friend, Satan's coming around the bend. People running 'cause they're scared. You people better go and beware. No, please, no.
Some of the vocalizations from Ozzy here remind me a little bit of Crazy Train, but this is a perfect example of how there's a lot that starts going in the instruments and he just cuts through effortlessly. Nasality often is able to do that kind of cut, or just having really great overtones in the voice. There is a very rapid 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. It's like a time signature that evokes more movement that they've gone into. I think if we just looked at the music theory of this song, again, they're making honestly simple decisions that very strongly, very boldly evoke exactly what they want to evoke.
You people better go and beware. No, please, no.
Oh my gosh. I love the way that this is split in the headphones. I've got totally different sounds on the side from the side. It makes this very wild experience for listening. And the way that there's a lot of stuff that is in between pitches that are like they're bending a lot of different sounds. Again, totally designed to give you the heebie-jeebies. It feels like turmoil. It feels like we are going down into a hell ride with a really cool guitar solo. Oh, that messes with you. There's a bunch of times in there it's going between a major third and a minor third. That's the difference between happy and sad. Okay? They keep going back and forth and having that little half step between them and just messing with us in that way. It's a great way to add even more tension to the emotion. There's that. Whoa. What a masterpiece. This is such a great song to teach anybody about musical theory. I love that. Thank you for letting me be super, super nerdy and talk about overtone series because I love that. And I love how it contributes to all of the harmony that we know of in Western music. It's so cool. And if you want to see some more analysis of Black Sabbath and Ozzy, check out this playlist over here. And may you fall more in love with music every day.